Round 1. Fight!
A round in a fighting game can feel like a blur as a beginner. Each round is made up of many situations that are unfamiliar to you at first, but they're relatively simple once you understand them. Learning to handle different situations one at a time is an excellent way to start getting good at fighting games. Your two goals in any specific fighting game situation are to minimize damage taken and maximize damage dealt. There are a lot of unfamiliar situations as a new player, so at first try to focus on the ones where you take the most damage. Learning how to get the best result out of a fighting game situation is a 3-step process. Let's talk about each of these 3 steps using an example situation that's common in many fighting games. An opponent jumps at you and hits you with a jumping attack into a combo. Step 1. Learn to recognize the situation. The first time you encounter a new situation, you probably won't realize what's happened until it's already over. Maybe not until you watch the replay later. Once you know what a situation looks like, keep an eye out for it. Try to recognize it earlier and earlier, so you'll have more time to do something about it. Some clues as to situations that might be coming up soon are your opponent's character, their screen position, their tendencies, and their mental state. Let's apply this to our jump-in example. Oh shoot, I just took a lot of damage. How did that even happen? Oh, I got hit by a jumping attack into a combo. Oh, that guy just jump kicked me in the face and I am getting pummeled. Ah, jump kick, right now. I think he's gonna try to jump kick in a second. Yep, there it is. Improving the time at which you recognize a situation will take more than one game. For this reason, it can be helpful to play multiple games with the same person. That way you can have many chances to see the situation. Once you are able to identify the situation as it's happening, or as it's brewing if you can, you'll be ready for the other 2 steps. The second step in learning how to deal with a situation is figuring out your options to deal with the situation. You can test these in a match, but it's faster to do in training mode. Record the training dummy to do the thing that you're trying to beat. Then, try some different ways to beat it. Test out your attack options, but don't forget to test out your movement options and your defensive options as well. For the jump-in example, can you jump out of the way? Dash away? Will walking away work? Try blocking. See if you can beat their kick with a crouching heavy punch. Then try a light punch. Test out light uppercut. Then a medium uppercut. Heavy uppercut? Experiment. If you can't find any option that deals with the situation reliably, you might need to look at an earlier situation. For example, if you were asking, what option could get me out of this combo? Well, none. Unless you're playing Killer Instinct. You'll have to return to step 1 and learn to recognize the situation that happened before the combo, the jumping kick, and test your options to deal with that situation instead. The final step is to practice executing your decision. Turn on input display in training mode, input the command for what you want to do slowly, and make sure that the commands that you put in are exactly correct. For example, if you want to do a medium uppercut, for which the command in most games is forward, down, down forward, medium punch, make sure that's exactly what you put in, without any extra or missing inputs. Steadily increase your speed until you can do the input fast enough for the option that you want to come out, but still maintain your clean inputs. Practice this on both the left and right side. Once you can execute an option successfully 10 times in a row, try getting even more comfortable with it by doing other things in training mode, moving around, maybe do some other things that you've practiced. Then, try to execute your newest tool very suddenly. Some techniques will take time to become second nature. You can work on these in 10-minute chunks whenever you play, or you can practice it for longer while listening to music or maybe watching a YouTube video or something. Practicing an option until you're comfortable executing it will help you, but don't forget that it isn't the only part of the process. Recognizing the situation early enough to give yourself enough time, and picking an option that requires a level of execution appropriate for your level of experience, both of these things are also important. Once you go through these 3 steps, you'll feel a lot more comfortable in this situation. This is a process that doesn't happen all at once. If you recognize their jump kick and try to uppercut it, but fail, that's okay. You're still making progress from where you started. There are way more situations besides this one example, but as long as you focus on each situation one at a time, and keep in mind all 3 steps of learning to recognize the situation, learning your options, and learning to execute your decision, you'll begin to gain confidence as a fighting game player, and you'll start having more fun. This video is based on a video by Patrick Miller called Why You Lose in Fighting Games, which I'll link in an annotation and the video description. Check it out if you want to see this concept of handling situations explored in more depth. This is not all there is to learn in fighting games. There are so many cool and unique things. Learning situations is only a starting point. Please let me know if this video helped you, or if you have questions or feedback. Enjoy your time in fighting games.